Welcome back to the Dragon Den. My loyal Dragon Knights, King of Dragons 5000 is back with another action figure review. Today we'll be taking a look at the AEW Unrivaled collection, Wardlow. Here we have Wardlow posed and out of the packaging, but before we have a look at his details, let's run through his accessories. Wardlow does come with two very impressive head sculpts, as well as two pairs of hands and the AEW TNT title. Other than that, Wardlow does not come with any other accessories, so with that out of the way, let's have a closer look at Mr. Mayhem. Wardlow is looking very impressive here in his Unrivaled figure, and I have to say I love the detailing on him. One thing to note is that Jazzwares did use a more matted plastic, which means this figure actually does feel a little bit better than that previous figure. Jazzwares also improved the head sculpt here on Wardlow because I think this looks much better than his first figure. Giving him a slightly smaller head did help with his proportions, and I absolutely love the expression that he has on him. Add to it with his hair tied up, it actually looks really good here on Mr. Mayhem. The fade on the sides of his head is also really nice, so good job by Jazzwares. Wardlow is wearing this really nice red singlet, and when I mean nice, it has a lot of impressive detail. The trimming on his singlet is done in this really nice black paint, and the red that they used is very vibrant. There's a lot of nice detailing patterns in his singlet. It actually looks like one of those bandanas that you see in the 90s. The wolves on the side look very good, and they're painted well enough, and then he does have his name Wardlow going down his spine. Wardlow also has these massive arms which look really good, and Mr. Mayhem is no slouch in the physique department. Going down to his wrist, Wardlow is wearing some black wrist tape, but unfortunately no wrist tape over his hands. Wardlow also has these really massive legs which look nice, and I like the fact that they did paint some knee pads onto him. Even though he does have separate piece knee pads, I do appreciate the fact that they painted some black on his knees just to make it look like his knee pads were longer. It's a really nice detail that Jazzwares was able to put here on Wardlow. And it goes down all the way to his really nice black boots, where he has some impressive detailing and the laces are nicely sculpted. The detailing work on his boots is really good. Now unfortunately there is no color variation on his boots, so everything here is just done in black plastic. So overall, Wardlow here is very impressive. I love the detailing on his singlets, and the proportions out from his head to his body look much better on this figure. All the detailing comes together perfectly here for Wardlow, so with everything said and done about his details, let's compare him to our usual suspects. Here we have Wardlow posed next to a Marvel Legends Cyclops and DC Multiverse Superman, Mattel's WWE Elite Scale and Mezco's 1/12 Collective Popeye the Sailor Man, the Lightning Collection White Ranger, and the Star Wars Black Series Mandalorian. Finally, we have Wardlow posed next to several AEW figures. And for one last comparison, we have Wardlow posed next to his unmatched version. So altogether, he scales really nicely, being a little bit taller than your average AEW figure, and that is a really good thing here for Mr. Mayhem. And being slightly taller than your standard wrestling figure, he will tower over your standard 1/12 scale figures. With his comparisons out of the way, let's move on to Wardlow's articulation. Wardlow has a ball hinge in the neck, arms go out to the side and dual full 360. Swivel at the bicep and double hinged elbows. Swivel hinge at his wrists, ball joint in his upper torso and in his lower torso. Legs do kick forward, go back, out to the side, and have a thigh swivel. He has a double bend in his knee, swivel at his boot, hinge in the ankle, and forward facing pin for rocker ankle. Your standard articulation for an AEW figure, and for a big guy it works perfectly here for Wardlow. So with everything said and done about Mr. Mayhem, let's actually get him posed for my final thoughts. The AEW Unrivaled Collection Wardlow is a very impressive figure, and I have to say, a very welcomed update to that previous release. Don't get me wrong, I really did like that original Wardlow figure, but something about it was a little bit off, especially with the type of plastic that they used. Jazzwares has been getting better in rectifying with the plastic by making it a more matte finish rather than glossy. And Wardlow here is still very impressive, down to the detailing they put into his singlet and this really nice head sculpt. I like the fact that he does come with a neutral head and an expressive head, although I'm not a fan of the My Chemical Romance hairstyle. I do like the fact that he came with a pair of fists, seeing as how a lot of AEW figures don't even come with fists. And having the TNT title in my collection is also really nice, so overall this Wardlow kind of has everything. One thing I have to praise is how clean this paint application is. There's a lot of things that could have gone wrong with this figure. I'm really happy to have this Wardlow in my collection, and I'm not just saying that because he's wearing my favorite color. If you are looking for this version of the AEW Unrivaled Wardlow, this wave is starting to hit stores at the time I'm making this video. If you haven't already done so, go out and pick up your very own Mr. Mayhem and add him to your collection. So with that being said, don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, and check out all my other action figure and AEW videos. Check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, videos, race and pickups, latest prints, and as always, ring that bell so you never miss another video. So until next time, my fellow Dragonites, coming from the Dragon Den, I'm King of Dragons 5000, reminding you to redesign, rebuild, and reclaim. I'll see you next time.